they're appointing their friends, they're appointing rich people, they're appointing the donors. And it's illegal to steal a vote in a local parish election. If you steal one vote in a local parish election, you can go to jail. But Mick Clegg and Charles Kennedy have stolen seats in the House of Lords from duly elected Liberal Democrats. And the media doesn't cover this. Absolutely extraordinary. Makes me absolutely furious. And actually shows that no matter how much work I did on getting things adopted by conference, the lobbyists who are around the leadership control the party by the goalies. So let's just give you a few examples of how I ran up against the political lobbying system. But I want to talk about the wider issues of political lobbying and how it works. Because we read about it occasionally, so-and-so lobbying scandal, lobbying scandal, lobbying scandal. But it's absolutely pervasive right through our political system. From local party members, our political lobbyists, which affects the local debate. Conference reps are political lobbyists. Councillors are political lobbyists. Ex-MPs are political lobbyists. Members of the Lords are political lobbyists. Ex-senior civil servants are political lobbyists. Ex-commissioners of the European Union are political lobbyists. Ex-staff members for MPs are political lobbyists. Ex-staff members in the civil service of the European Union are political lobbyists. Basically what happens is the 1% through the political lobbying companies buys our former political establishment. I'm not saying that all these people are corrupt. I'm not saying that that every single member, ex-MP does this, or ex-person who works in an MP does this. I'm saying enough of them do it, that they control our political agenda, and that is how, year after year, more and more money goes to these companies and these people, because they are lobbying on behalf of the 1%, and we get excluded again and again and again. One example is the party conferences. There is a loophole in the donation system that you don't have to declare donations or sponsorship at conference. I'm a fellow of the RSA, and I remember attending a debate at the RSA about party conferences. And the three party members were telling out what they do at party conferences, blah blah blah. And I put my hand up and said, look, it doesn't matter what happens at party conference. The real decisions in our political system occur when political lobbyists meet in private in Whitehall, MPs and ministers and senior civil servants, because that's where the real decisions are made. All three parties poo-pooed me as being a complete nutcase, mad radical idiot. Amazingly, a man at the back of this meeting at the RSA put his hand up and said, I own a political lobbying company, and what this man says is perfectly correct. He said, the corruption at party conferences is so disgusting that if people found out about it, it would be far, far worse than the expenses scandal. Because remember, whilst the expenses scandal was shocking to us, it didn't affect the decision making. It didn't affect the money. It didn't affect our tax spent. It didn't affect the regulations for business. It didn't affect our safety. It didn't affect planetary safety. So this is much, much more serious in terms of its effect on our day-to-day lives and the wider public. So they went on again, and another guy put his hand up and said, I work for a political lobbying company, and we won't go to conferences because they're so corrupt. Now the extraordinary thing about party conferences, which I didn't realise, when I joined the party first and I was an enthusiastic policy wonk, producing motions, being very successful getting through conference, I wasn't part of the party elite at the time. But once I got into federal executive and then deputy chair, I started getting this huge deluge of envelopes through the post before conference. Beautiful gilt invitations to this reception, that reception, breakfast with this person, the company, dinner with that company. And suddenly I was going, oh my gosh, there is a parallel conference going on here. Behind the scenes, in all the beautiful lobbies and all the dining rooms and all the reception areas, behind conference, there's another conference going on where the companies are meeting MPs. And at the table to be MP, company rep, MT, company rep, senior party member, company rep, senior party company rep, around the table at these conferences. Bloomberg's used to host a massive cocktail party for around nearly 500 people. How much will that cost? And I remember my first time being invited to it, and people came up to me, what are you doing here? I was deputy chair of the party at the time. I wasn't part of the elite. McDonald's sponsored the competition between the stands at party conference. etc., etc. Extraordinary. Another thing that happens at party conferences is you don't realise how many political lobbies are there. At the recent Tory party conference, it was estimated that there were 4,000 conference delegates representing the people in the local parties of the Tory party. Perfectly reasonable. Guess how many political lobbies were there? There were 3,000 more political lobbyists at the Tory party conference than there were delegates. So you think you're at a party conference, at a debate, or at a fringe meeting discussing social services, discussing privatisation, discussing nuclear power. You don't realise there actually is a whole bunch of people on, not only just on the platform, and it's being sponsored by them, and they're actually present in the debates. A fascinating